Alright, we are going to keep going. We have the level 63 fishing quest. We will get a new rod that will not be an improvement because I bought a level 71 rod, I guess. I'm level 72 doing level 63 quest. I also bought Salmon Roe recently. Mooch 2. Wow, okay. And I also think all of this... Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay. What did I... Oh, I was cooking. That's right. Okay. So all of this gear I've already bought as well. So I'll just take... Yeah. But this makes me think I have learned spearfishing, and I just... Why would they teach me spearfishing and not give me my gig, or whatever it's called? That makes no sense to me. Anyway, this level 63 fishing quest given to us by Wawalago is called a Rousing Reunion. We are in Limsa Laminsa lower decks outside of the Fisherman's Guild. Here we go. Oh mercy, thank goodness you're here. Gov's gone off again, this time to Gyr Abania. We had a rendezvous regarding my research into the disappearance of the schools of Scarlet fish when a look of realization swept across his scaly face. He dashed away, and I could scarcely ask what was the matter before he shouted one word and dove into the deep waters. Of the Velodina, that is. Govv is the Sahagin, I think. As you know, the Velodina River rushes rapidly through the ravines of Gyr Abania. While I am not privy to the particulars of his epiphany, he appears determined to cross that dangerous divide. The region may have been emancipated from the Empire's control, but that doesn't mean that people won't brandish their battle arms against a brash beastman from beyond the border. You must track him down before he gets into trouble. Young Gov's got guts, I'll give him that. And Govv, so it could be Govs, I don't know. I'm gonna say Govv. I'll give him that. And it may take longer, and it may take more than one angler to reel him in if he gets rowdy. I've contacted our cohorts in Korthus, and they've consented to send an apt acquaintance to accompany you. We've preemptively planned a powwow at Pike Falls. Now fly, friend, and fetch Govv back before he finds himself in a frying pan, figurative or otherwise. I know I have changed his voice. I'm sorry about that. I also am kind of okay with the voice change that I have chosen, but if you want to do this the cheap way and you don't have a lot of like free Aetheryte tickets like I do, because I do have Blue Mage, fly via airship back to Gridania, and then if you want to be even cheaper than that, even cheaper on top of that, you can go to East Gridania via, East Shroud via Old Gridania. Just like you take a little ferry thing, or a boat, whatever. And then you can just make your way all the way through the East Shroud and then into the Fringes, I believe this is called. Yeah. I'm just gonna spend a ticket because it's $5.76 to teleport there with the reduced costs from being in the free company and having that active. But it would be a grand total of 120 to take the airship to Gridania and then just fly via your mount the rest of the way. This is where you do if you're leveling battle, like I just call them battle. What are they called here? It's not department. What's it called? Discipline of war or magic. So your battle classes versus your gathering and crafting classes. Why is Oh, because I have the I recently got the Culinarian Soul crystal. I don't know if those crystals are available to gathering classes as well, but I know you can have 3 different Disciple of the Hand Crystals, and so far the only one I have is Culinarian because that is the only one I've been leveling. So, anywho, alchemy would probably go hand in hand if you do Culinarian as you level Botany. Alchemy makes a lot of sense there. I think alchemy would also work in some cases with fishing, but I don't know. But alchemy, like Botany, alchemy for sure. So if you want to level 2 hands plus 2 lands, I think those would be your combos. Because Carpenter, like Armor, Blacksmith, Goldsmith, those all kind of go together. Weaver kind of goes with, yeah, so like, but Alchemy and Culinarian are outside of all that, in my opinion. We have Reyna, who is the fishing lady we met. It's actually kind of interesting to see her here because she was from the last the last set of fishing quests. From, it would be like 50 to 60, I think, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to see Reyna here. What's up, Reyna? Well, well, if it isn't Mercy, angler extraordinaire, how fare you these days? Ansel mentioned that you were in need of a deft hand, and as he's tangled up as usual in his struggle for succession, I took it upon myself to accompany you on this little escapade. Ah yes, the Sahagin fellow. We just made each other's acquaintance. I saw a large shadow swimming beneath the surface of the Velodina, and when I cast my line, I found him on the other end of it. I was rather surprised to see a beastman so far from home, and what's more, one that took the bait. Primal instincts, I suppose. 'Twould seem he got it in his head that this river is polluted with ceruleum runoff. He's been swimming to and fro for the gods know how long, trying to find the source. Like as not, he's right about the pollution. There's no shortage of imperial structures in these parts, after all. But as I've been trying to tell him, I'm all but certain it's entirely unrelated to the disappearance of his beloved shooting stars. For you see... Psh! What could the Finless know of their rivers and seas? There is only one shore walker I know with the authority to speak of such matters, and his name is Wawalago. Stubborn little bugger, isn't he? He won't listen to a word I say. I've tried to explain to him countless times that me and my fellow fishing enthusiasts are every bit Wawalago's equal when it comes to knowledge of the waters, but to no avail. Psh, the day that a Sahagin needs the counsel of a shore walker on such matters is the day seas dry up. Is that so? Then we'll just have to prove here and now that we're worth our salt. To that end, I would propose a contest. As you may know, the deep Velodina carp inhabit these waters. If we can reel in 3 before you can spear the same number, you'll agree that our angling acumen is the equal of your own. Do we have a deal? He thinks on it, I think, or maybe nods and then walks off. Well, he certainly took the bait easily enough. All right, I'm counting on you, Mercy. Go catch us 3 big ones. Okay, thanks. I think I acted in shock. You thought I'd be doing the fishing? Perish the thought. Going up against the spear fishing of a Sahagin isn't something I like my chances with. You're far more capable than I. Don't worry though, if I'm right, our friend is likely to resort to the same methods he uses in saltwater fishing, as that's all he knows. But we both know that the appropriate angling techniques differ from river to river and sea to sea. Use this to your advantage, and Godspeed. This water is moving pretty quickly. I don't necessarily always... grok is the word I'm going to use here, but like notice the speed of the rivers in this in this game. But deep Velodina carp. Okay, I don't think I've caught these yet. There's a lot of entries because this is a quest, so bear with me here. Let's start from the top here, because the top is newest. Salmon Row. I don't remember clicking on the game, that's weird. Right next to Reyna. Clear skies. First 7 casts, okay. I think I probably, yeah, still the Salmon Row equipped. I bought the Salmon Row in order to catch No, it wasn't one of those. It was one of the fish I need for the cooking I want to do. I think it was the... it was definitely the heather char. I fished them up in the peaks over in this area. The E4. I bought 20, so you can see pretty clearly that it only took one to catch that fish. Sorry, the fish, again, I think I said the name, but heather char. So between the levels of 61 and 65, all of those cooking things, you need one heather char, and then the rest are all spearfishing. A horned turban in the Ruby Sea, a gauntlet crab in Yangtze, and a steppe bullfrog from Azim Steppe. Again, all of those are spearfishing, which I probably already know, but I need to figure out if I need to like buy. I don't know. Sorry. Mark for the quest. Weird. I've never seen that pop up before. So I guess because we're fishing here with the quest on, we're more likely to get these. There's one blood sipper, which I've never caught before, so that's nice. I like that. We got 40,000 experience points for that. I like, you know, filling this list out. This guy did say that he got 3 within 7. There's another blood sipper. Whoa, bigger than the last one. So we got 72,000 experience points for that. That's awesome. It is fair skies. It is nighttime. All we're getting so far is blood sippers. So maybe nighttime is not good for the deep Veladina carp. All I keep getting is the blood sippers, which are like a lobster kind of thing. I am 0 for 4 so far on the carp, but apparently versatile lure can work, so snagging is not required as far as I can see. There's my first Veladina carp. Deep Veladina carp. I have this suspicion now, after 6 different casts, that the longer it takes to get a hook, the more likely it's a carp. If it's a quicker hook, it's a lobster. So this one's taking a while. I think this could be a carp. We will see if I'm correct. It was a carp. Interesting. So we are... That's 7 casts. 7 casts with 2 carp. Okay. That, I think we would have had our hook now if it was their lobster, so I think this is going to be a carp. Okay. Oh, it's a double. Never mind. I don't know what a double is going to get us here. Double point. Double exclamation point. I just call it a double. Green stream loach. Cool. Another new catch. I always love those. I'll take them. another double, so possibly another loach. Yep, another loach. If you're not using a lure, in my opinion, these casts and hooks come so fast, I don't need to use chum. If I'm using a lure, I am more likely... I think this is a lobster. It was too quick. If I'm using a lure, I am more likely to use chum. I was right. That was a lobster. A blood sipper. I don't know why people make macros that do this like countdown thing. There's another lobster. It was too quick. Yep. That was too quick. It's a lobster. Yep. It's a big one though. Got 64,000 experience points for that. Okay, this is a long one, so this could be the carp. If I get a double, heck, that's a carp. Cool. Yeah, dude. It's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna share this because that's very interesting to me. If you get a single exclamation point fairly quickly, it's a blood sipper. If you get a single exclamation point more slowly, it's a carp. If you get a double, it's a green stream loach. Nah, I'm not gonna. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I don't think. Like, you lose your bait if you're using salmon roe, which is a bait, not a tackle or lure, whatever. You're gonna lose it, even if you let the fish go. So, like, you could save time theoretically by not catching a lot of blood sippers. Like, if you get that exclamation point too quickly, you're like, that's a lobster. I'm just gonna let it go. You save yourself the time of reeling it in. So it's like a couple seconds per yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's. I was typing it all out, and then I'm like, why? Who cares? What does it matter? It's interesting to me. but there's a ton of things that are interesting to me that nobody else would care about. As I expected, Govv is having difficulty adapting to freshwater fishing. Even the water itself seems to be irritating his skin. Still, we mustn't underestimate him. Hurry and catch those carp. 3 deep Velodina carp. Hand it over. Fine work, as always. You never cease to amaze me with how quickly you assess the swimming patterns of your prey, even in unfamiliar waters. Let's call Govv back and settle this once and for all. Cutscene. Up walks Govv. Okay. The heck? Sorry. Well, would you look at this? Mercy cast, hooked, and reeled in 3 carp before you even set your sights on a single one. How's it feel to lose to a land dweller, Govv? I did not expect fishing in fresh waters to be so arduous. For a shore walker like you to outfish a Sahagin, there are no words to express my shame. Maybe now you've realized there's some worth to what we have to say. Now, shall we return to the topic of the shooting stars? Capable fisherman you may be, but I have already found my answer. The shooting stars have disappeared because this river has been sullied by the ceruleum spilling out into its waters. And if you would let me finish a sentence for just once, I would tell you this isn't so. Why, your prized fish aren't even native to this river. I've discovered beyond a shadow of a doubt that they hail from further to the east. I take a step back. You see, I came to these parts for business. As Mercy knows, my true profession is to ensure that my clients' enemies sleep with the fish. In my spare time, I took a liking to reeling in those fish. Needless to say, I often have occasion to chat with the locals about their favorite fishing spots. So I asked around based upon information relayed to me by Wawalago, pressing anglers from the eastern lands on the whereabouts of fish resembling the shooting star's description. I was able to gather that there are indeed massive schools of bright scarlet fish measuring 60 ilms in length, swimming in the waters near the Isle of Thavnar in the Near East, and so I... 60 ilms? Those are no shooting stars. The fish that my clutch so cherished dwarf even you inside, shorewalker. Let me finish for once, would you? Furthermore, in East Authard, I found fish of the self-same appearance as those in Thavnar. Red as blood, but this time a mere 20 ilms in length. It all makes sense now. The shooting stars my clutch saw were fully grown. They begin life in the Far East as slight hatchlings, gradually growing to gargantuan size as they journey to the west. She nods. That's what I've been trying to tell you from the start. If the numbers that embark on that rite of passage have dwindled to all but nothing, it stands to reason that whatever happened in the vicinity of their spawning beds. That said, we still have a lot of ground and water to cover before we can fully ascertain just where their nursery is located. While the fishers of the East have seen fish fitting the description of the shooting stars, they were no more knowledgeable about where those fish originated from than we are. Thankfully, I've already managed to establish good rapport with the anglers in these parts. Would you be so kind as to return to Lenosha and give Master Wawalago a report at length while I ask about in search of further clues? I will be in touch as soon as I can find a lead to go on. She turns back to Vaughn. No, I don't know, whatever. Ban? No, I don't remember. I don't know why. And you there, I do hope you've learned your lesson about underestimating the talents of shorewalkers. Try to avoid jumping to conclusions next time we meet, won't you? She waves to me and walks out of the scene between us. The Sahagin turns to me. Govv. Wow, way off. Loath as I am to admit it, she is right. Forgive me for my arrogance, shorewalker. You can assure Master Wawalago that you will have my ear in the future. I thank you for your aid. He walks out of the scene. It goes black. Turn my scene to black. 288 with it being a favored destination to go to Limsa Laminsa. I'll spend a ticket. I've chosen to not spend tickets here and there for like 320. But I have the ability to buy so many tickets, so It's almost not worth it to pay any gil for any teleport ever because of how many tickets I can afford. Blue Mage is awesome. I still have to do the weekly Masked Carnival, but they go pretty quick. I watch. There's this one guy whose videos I watch, and he has so far put out a video every week for every. I don't know if he's done every weekly Blue Masked Carnival, but he does a lot of them. Oh, it sounds like you and this Reina bird battered a buried Gov's bravado. Yeah. Battered and buried, that makes more sense. Battered and buried Gov's bravado. I'd expect nothing less from one of the most promising piscators Eorzea has to offer. That Reina sounds like quite the lass, and nothing gets the heart beating faster than a bonny baitcaster with a basket of bream, eh? My options are, if you say so, or if you're keen on women and waiters. If you say so. I'm not gonna flirt with them. Sorry. Oh, a woman after my own heart. A shame this Reina doesn't frequent these parts more often. I could provide her with pointers on perfecting her fishing posture. Yes, just like so. Don't give me that grimace. Old Wawalago may be beyond his courting years, but like any Lanosian wine, my appeal is only augmented with age. Any road, so you say your lovely lady will drop us a line by Link Pearl when she has a lead for us? Superb. Superb. I'll practice my powers of passionate persuasion in the meantime. Why don't you hone your casting head at one of my favorite fishing holes in the meanwhile? I get a bunch of stuff, and I already have this gear, so I'll grab 2,500 gil. I have to get some dinner in me. Mooch 2. I don't actually use this button, so I'm just going to put sneak over here. Mooch 2 uses a certain hooked fish of average size to attract even larger prey, whereas Mooch 1 uses certain large size fish to attract even greater prey. Okay. I'll have to figure out how those actually get used. My salmon roe has grown out of control. There is no vendor here. Wait, what? Do I have something that needs to be... Oh, the condition is 0. Wow. How'd that happen? What condition? My condition is 0. Okay. Yeah. Where's the repair? Okay, cool. We're going the right way. We will click on this guy, even though it's more annoying to go after like a billion clicks. There's my 2,500. Yep, definitely gonna sell that as well. Green Stream Loach, not used for any recipes. Blood Sipper, not used for any recipes, but I can do the thing. Yep, that's it for now. I will see you guys next time for whatever video you watch next. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.